Okay, so hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the decode string problem, that is medium level problem on Leetcode. So we have let's first understand the problem statement. So we have been given this encoded string and we need to decode it. So how is it, like how the output is coming? Let us first understand it. Okay, so as you can see, this is our this is actually the given string. So what will happen is as you can see, like there is the bracket. Okay, there is a this closing bracket. So whatever the string present inside it, and whatever the number actually is just attached to it, this inside string will be repeated that number of times. So as you can see, bc the 2 is attached to that particular bc string, so it will be repeated up to 2 times. So we have this bc and then again bc, and what will happen, this will just get attached to it, and now this is our bracket, and now what is there, it is 3. Okay, so now what will happen, this inside string will be repeated up to 3 number of times. So again abc bc bc, it will be repeated up to 3 times, and then this will be our answer. Okay, so I hope it will be clear to you. Now how we are going to approach this problem and how we are going to program it further. So which data structure we are going to use? Actually we are going to use stacks. Now this question can be solved with the help of one stack and two stack also, but I am going to explain you the more optimized way to solve this problem, that is two stack way. Okay, so we are going to have two stack. Like we will take two stack. One is the stack where we actually store the our like our this digits, like 3 2, and we will call it count stack. And the other one will be our string stack, where we will be putting our strings. Okay, we will be putting our strings. So what will happen, this is the string, so where the here we will be putting our string, and here this is the count stack. So now what will happen, like let's start iterate over it. We will iterate over this string. Okay, and whenever we are going to get digit, okay, so we will just store this digit in our k. We will take two variables, one is k and the other is current string. Okay, current string is now empty. As you can see, we have declared it as empty, and k is 0. But now when it will come, like whenever the digit will come, we just store it in our k. Okay, now what happened, when we actually let, then again we traverse over this and we will come over here. Now this is what, this is the opening bracket. So from here our new string will start. So what we'll do, whenever we encounter this opening bracket, whatever present in our k and current string, we just push it onto the two stacks. We push this k onto our count stack, and we just push our current string on our string stack. Okay, so it is actually empty for now, so we just push empty string over here. So as you can see, this is our current stack and string stack for now. Now whenever we are actually, now again we traverse over the string and we will reach up to here, this. Now we are getting the character. So whenever we are getting the character, what we do, we just add it in our current string. So our current string will become a now. Okay, now what will happen, we just encounter 2. So what we'll do, we actually change this k from 3 to 2. Okay, we actually change whenever we are going to get the digit, we actually change our k from the previous digit to a new digit. Okay, so now whenever we are getting the digit, we will change it to 2. Now k becomes 2 and our current string is as it is, like a. Okay, now again we reach up to here. So whenever we are reaching up to the closing bracket, what we'll do, we just push our k and our current string onto the stack. Okay, so we actually reach here where it is opening bracket, so we just push k, that is 2, onto the stack, and we push this a onto the stack. And whenever we push this k onto the stack, what we'll do, our currents, we will actually again initialize this current string at empty, and we have this k is equal to 0. We initialize k is equal to 0 now. Okay, because we actually pushed out whatever in this k into the stack and current string onto the stack. When we are going to push, whenever we are going to having this opening bracket, then only we push our k and current string. Now again we reach up to this b. Now let me erase it first, it is becoming very cluttered is actually. Okay, so now where actually we have reached, we are traversing over our string and we reached up to b. So what we'll do, we actually reached here b. So what we'll do, our current string will now become, our current string will now become B. Okay, and again our again we will go up to this, we again traverse over there, so we get C as a character, we actually update our current string as BC, we add this character up to our into our current string. Now we reached up to here and we are getting the closing bracket. So whenever we are getting the closing bracket, what we will do, we pop out this element, like we pop out the topmost element of the current stack. Okay, we pop this out, 2, we pop this 2 out, and what we will do, we we actually we are having this what we called as C as a sorry, we are getting this closing bracket, and what we will do, we have this current string as here. Okay, so what we'll do, we just repeat this current string the number of times, the number of times the whatever the number is on the top of the stack. Okay, whenever we are reaching the closing bracket, this much operation we will do. So how much, so BC will get repeated. What we'll do, we repeat whenever we are getting the closing bracket. Now whatever in the current string, we just repeat up to what number of times, up to the number of times the top of the stack is. So how much, we will repeat BC up to 2 times. So BC, so our current string will become BC and BC. Okay, and also what we will do, whatever in on the top of the stack, when we actually repeated current string up to that number of times, what we, and also we pop this out. Okay, now whatever on the top of the string stack, we just add on to our this string, current string, and what we will do, this current string actually we push it onto the top of the stack. So this actually we pop, and actually also we popped it out and just push it like in front of the our current string. Okay, and just what we will do, we just push it onto the top of the stack. Are you able to understand it? Okay, let me show you, like I hope this is, because we are doing it na step to step wise, we are we have made it clear. Okay, so whatever will be there, A, B, C and BC. Okay, so this is actually in our stack now, this string will be in our stack now, is in our stack now. Okay, so this is our string. So I hope it is clear. Okay, now what will happen, now what will happen, we actually face this, now again we traverse over the string and we got here. Again this is the closing bracket. So what is the thumb rule for the closing bracket, whenever we are getting the closing bracket, we pop the topmost element of the stack. Okay, we what we do, we pop topmost element of the stack, and whatever actually present in our current string. So what actually present in our current string, I actually called it to you, like our current string actually became this. So whatever is actually present in our current string, we just repeat up to that number of times. So we just repeat this current string up to this 3 number of times, and whatever we will get, we just again push it onto the top of the stack. Okay, so now it will become ABC, BC, and then again AB, BC will be repeated 3 number of times. So I hope it is clear. Now again I will show you it with now again I will explain you with taking a different example, and some really easy example than that, because like there are not some rules with that we have created. Okay, by realizing that how we are going to solve it, we are just like whenever we are getting some digit, we just store it into the K, where we are storing it, and we are storing it into K. And whenever we are getting our whenever we are getting this opening bracket, what we are doing, whenever we are getting this opening bracket, what we are doing, we whatever in the stack, whatever in the K, we just push it onto the top of the count stack, and whatever in our current string, we have taken two variable now. So whatever our in our current string, what we will do, we just push these two onto the top of the two stacks. Okay, so we just push this current string over here, whatever this current string will be. Okay, so again now whenever there is a character coming, so what we will do, we just add this character into our current string. Okay, add our character into current string, and whenever there is a digit is coming, we just store again this digit into our K. So our this K will become 2. Now whenever there is a closing bracket is coming, what we'll do, we just push this K and this current string onto the top of the stack. So what it will become, it will be 2, and here it will be A. Okay, and now what will happen, now again we now current string will become empty. When we push it onto the top of the stack, now current string will become empty. Now again what we are getting this B. Okay, and again we are getting b, so what we will do, we just push this b onto our current string. We just actually add this string on our empty string, so it will become b. And then again we are getting this c. Now again we will add this into our current string. Now we are getting this closing bracket. So what we will do, whenever we are getting closing bracket, remember the thumb rule, whenever we are getting the closing bracket, what we will do, we just pop the topmost element of the stack, count stack, it is 2, and whatever there in our current string, what we will do, we just repeat the current string up to that number of times. Okay, that number of times. And if, and we will see what, like and what we will do, we take the top of the string stack and add it into our current string. So our current string will become a, b, c and bc. I hope it is actually clear to you. And now what will I do, I will just push this string onto the top of the stack. Okay, and we actually popped it out already. Okay, so I hope that is actually making sense to you. And now again what will happen, we are again getting the closing string. So what we will do, thumb rule for closing string, we just take the top of the stack of the current stack and just repeat our current string up to that number of times. So this is our current string, we just repeat it up to that number of times. Okay, we just repeat it up to that number of times, so it will become a, b, c, b, c, and again this will repeat it up to 3 number of times. And then again what we will do, this will be our output at last. So our output at last will be our current string. What is now the time complexity and space complexity for this problem? I hope that I have taken this very made it very messy. Okay, so what is the time complexity? As you can see, uh, like uh, time complexity, space complexity, let's first understand it is space complexity. So space complexity is actually is the size we are actually taking and using. So in our two stack, firstly in our count stack, what we are storing numbers. And in our string stack, what we are storing the strings. Okay, so basically what is a space complexity? So space complexity is equal to the number of like the count. Like if there is m number of uh, digits, like m number of these numbers. Okay, for example these numbers are m number of numbers, and what, how much is the like characters in here? Like for example there are n number of characters in this. Okay, so n number of strings in there, like this is first string, now this will be gonna repeat it. So the number of strings available, the size of the string. Okay, so size of the string is n, for example. So we are storing that strings in our string stack, and we are storing the numbers in our count stack. So total how much space is it taking? We m plus n, so space complexity will be m plus n. Okay, because we are storing the strings in our we are storing the strings in our string stack and count numbers in the count stack. So for example m is the number of numbers, and n is the size of the string. So how much the space we are taking? We are taking the space as m plus n. So I hope it is clear now, space complexity. Now again, what is the time complexity? So what will be the time complexity? So time complexity will be, as you can see here, time complexity, like three, this much is gonna be repeated three times, and this much is gonna repeated up to two times. So what we are doing, we are traversing over this string and decoding it up to two times. Okay, first what we will do, for example if this is the string ab. Okay, let us take this example, and this is our number outside, like 2. So what we are doing, we are just increasing, like we are firstly we are traversing over this string, and then we are repeating it up to two times. Okay, so what do you think, like what will be the time complexity for this? Like firstly we are traversing over this string and repeating up to this number of times. So what will be in 2 into 2, I guess. So this number into the length of the string. So this number, for example, let us assume this number is k, and the size of this string will be n. So our time complexity will be k into n. But here there are nested brackets. So for example for this it will be 2 into 2, for example, let us assume. For this will be 2 into 2. Okay, and again for this it will be like again we are taking this whole thing, and again we are traversing up to 3 number of times. So basically whatever the max of k, like whatever the k maximum and whatever the length of the string, the max length of the string, we just multiply those and that will be our time complexity. Whatever will be the k max, whatever will be the k max, okay, whatever k max matlab what is the largest digit, okay, in the nested in this nested brackets. So k max we will take, and again we will take what, k max into the maximum length of the string, that is n strings. Okay, so that will be our time complexity, because as you understood now, like here you can understand, like ab is, if the ab is the string, so firstly we will traverse it and then we decode it up to, like encode it for repeat it up to 2 times. So basically 2 into 2, if I say this to you. Okay, so that will be the size of the string, so the number of times we need to repeat it, and the size of the string का multiplication will be a time complexity. So here for this nested, we will take k max, whatever will be the k maximum digit which is maximum, and n what is, n is the length of the string. So that will be our actually answer. So that will be our actually time complexity I. Okay, so I hope you understood this problem. So now let us jump on to the I also like there is one more method, like two more methods to solve this problem. One in recursive way and the other is using the one stack only. So but they are taking actually more time, like one stack problem is actually taking more time than this two stack method. So this is will be more easier to understand. Now the code, now let us jump on to the code, right? So actually I have written already the code, so without wasting time, this is the code as you can see here. This is the code, okay, and it is actually working fine. Okay, I like some okay, so what we are doing in this code, let me just, okay, so this is the code. As you can see, we have just taken two stacks, we have taken two stacks here. One is count stack and the other is a string stack. And now what will happen, we have this current string also, we have just initialized two variables, one is current string and one k is equal to 0. So what we are taking, we are just traversing over this our string. Okay, here we, you can see, like we are traversing over the string, and if it is a digit, so what we are doing, if it is a digit, we, what we are doing, we are actually uh, storing it in our k. And one more thing I need to tell you, for example, just tell me, like if the digit is, for example, show you, let me show you this thing, like it is very important to understand. Not very important, but this is one main important part for this. So if for example this is 13, so what you will do, for example you get this k, so it is how much, it is 1. Okay, so whenever we are, you are getting this now, you are getting this k, now when you go here you will get this 3. Okay, so whenever you are getting, like you have this k is equal to 1, so what we will do, we, you just 1 into 10, and then what we will do, you just do plus 3. Okay, what you will do, 1 into 10 plus 3. So as you can see here, as you can see here, what is happening is whatever is the k, actually, like we are getting the digits. Okay, we are getting the digits here. So whenever we are having this k, so what will happen, k is initialized as 0 first. Okay, so as with this formula, you can see, like this formula you here, k is equal to k into 10. So firstly we have actually initialized it with 0, 0 into 10, 0. So it will be 0. Now again we have what, we reached out to 3. Okay, so k into 0 plus 1. So k becomes 1. Now we reached out to 3. So what will happen, our 3. So now we have k as formerly as 1, so 1 into 10 will be 1 plus 3. So how much our k will become, it will become 13. So that's how we are going to calculate if there are if the number is 2 digit or 3 digit, because the constant actually been given that the number will be from 1 to 300, as you can see from here. Okay, as the description, in the description, as you can see, the constraint that is given is actually from 1 to 300. Okay, I hope this is clear. So now if this is a opening bracket, I have seen that this is the thumb rule that you need, we have, like if this is a opening bracket, so what we are doing, we just pushing the k up onto the stack, and we are pushing the current string on the stack, and just what we do, we just initialize it both to the k to 0, and this is up to the opening string, we just push it out. And whenever we are getting the closing bracket, so what we will do, we just take the top of the stack, Okay, we just take the top of the stack and just store it in our current string, like, and how many times we are repeating this current string? We are repeating it up to the, like, whatever this the top of the count stack, we are repeating that current string up to that much of time. So that is what this is doing. And then what we will do, we will just pop out the top of the count stack, and we just pop out the top of the like, we just pop out the top of the count stack and on also from the string stack. And now our current string will become that particular string. And what now, or if it is a character, if it is a simple character, as you can see, if it is a simple character, then what we will do, we just add it into our current string. Okay, as we have seen earlier, current string we will add if this is a simple character. If it is not closing opening bracket or a digit, then we will just add it into our current string, because we are adding now. Okay, so now at last we will return our current string. So this is it, this is our problem. I hope it will be clear to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you.